Welcome to It's Happening in Grand Prairie, Texas. We're so delighted that you're in our viewing audience. We have such an exciting show for you today, and we want to thank you for being with us on this very exciting day in May. And we have with us today a very special couple. Now, when you say couple, that means one of them is a little bit more majestic than the other because she's the cotton picking president. And we're just so pleased to have the Lifeline Shelter group here today bringing you information about a special freedom salute that they're going to do. Now, of all of the people in the world, we're just so glad to have Lila Thorne, the president. I would like to welcome you formally today, my dear.
Thank you so much, Ruthie. It's good to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad. And you brought a beautiful young lady with you today that is very special not only to the Lifeline Shelter group. She's real special to Grand Prairie because she is a mover and shaker in this town, even though she lives in another little city that we won't even speak of right at the moment. Diane Wynn, we're so glad to have you with us today, my dear.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, yes. And we're just so glad to have you back. And the irony of all of this, you two were sitting in this very same spot about 3 months ago, ready to do a show, and the place almost blew up. We almost lost Don Johnson because all of his equipment went haywire, and so he gave us another break. He said, I'm going to let you bring those two ladies back when we get everything fixed up and the lights burning very brightly, and that's happened today, hasn't it?
Yes.
What's happening with the Lifeline Shelter and the Freedom Search?
Well, this is the time of year that we are very, very busy working on our Freedom Luncheon for Lifeline, which will be Thursday, June the 17th, from 11 to 1 at the Ruthie Jackson Center. And this year, our honorary chair is none other than Miss Grand Prairie herself, Ruthie Jackson.
Oh, I see. Y'all are really twisting things around this morning on this show, but that's not unusual for you two ladies. Y'all twist things and make it come out good, however it is. So maybe I'll polish up, and I thank you for that wonderful honor. What a wonderful salute to a little old lady in tennis shoes. Thank you very much.
Very deserving, and thank you for everything that you do for Grand Prairie and Lifeline and all the entities.
Now let's thank the very important people. How about your board? Do you have a board?
We do have a board. We have Diane is on one of our board members, and definitely a mover and shaker in this Freedom Luncheon endeavor, and all of our other board members that are working on the auction items, and this is a great event. Everyone loves it. It's fun, it's good food, and it raises a lot of money for the homeless children of Grand Prairie Independent School District and their families so that we can keep them in a home and keep them in their school.
Well, that is really critical to not break their schooling even for a week if you can help it, right?
Absolutely. The studies have shown that if a child is displaced and out of a home and has to go to another school, it takes about 6 months for them to get involved again and back where they were. So if we can keep them in their home and in the same school, it really does help out.
When did you start this Lifeline Shelter group?
Lifeline Shelter was started in 2003, so this is our 7th Freedom Luncheon.
That doesn't seem possible, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Time is passing when you're having fun. And with the wonderful salute that you have, because Angela Gessner, I know, was the founding creator, we'll call her the creator, and the first president and everything of Lifeline Shelter. And she's still with you, spurring you on, isn't she?
Oh, absolutely. She is extremely active.
And then you had Georgia Clemson. I loaned her to you all for a little while.
Yes.
And y'all have done pretty well under the circumstances. And now we got the cream of the crop here. So you can't beat that, can you?
Well, thank you.
Yes. All right. All right. Is there anything you want to say before I talk with our newly recognized and saluted as our this year's benefactor for the Lifeline Shelter? Not only being on the board, but really hustling for this special Freedom Luncheon. Is that all right with you if I go to her now?
Absolutely. Just would ask everyone to please mark your calendars for June the 17th, 11 to 1 at the Ruthie Jackson Center. Come join us for the Freedom Luncheon.
Okay, that sounds real good. But I'm going to ask you to do that and look out into your camera in just a few minutes. So
Very
that was
good.
a good practice line.
Thank you.
All right, Diane, we're delighted to have you here.
Thank you.
And your wonderful husband that has been so wonderful to allow you to come all of the way from Cedar Hill over here to help us in Grand Prairie, Texas, because you have a multitude of businesses and interests and investments in the city of Grand Prairie.
Oh, yes,
not
ma'am.
particularly in Cedar Hill. So we want to thank you for spreading joy and good wishes and a little money here and there. It's been wonderful to have you on the board and to have you to step forward and help us in many ways. So this year we have voted you as our benefactor of the year. And I'd like to talk with you a little bit about all of the different businesses that your husband has that's here in Grand Prairie, Texas, that not only helps Grand Prairie, but helps this Lifeline shelter like it's never been helped before. Would you tell us about your investments? What do you want to talk about? What's the most fun for you to work in your business?
Well, we have started, my husband actually has been in the city of Grand Prairie for about 40 years.
Yes, he has.
And he has the auto recycling businesses on Jefferson.
And did you know that that's my favorite of all of the ones, because at one time we called them junkyards and now we call it the Recycling
That's
Center
right.
of Grand Prairie, Texas. Brings
Yes,
in
ma'am.
more tax base to the city of Grand Prairie probably than any of your other businesses that are just starting out.
Right.
It's been such a wonderful happening, and that place has become more of a garden for recycling than it has a business for hawking auto parts, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it has.
ma'am. And he, I think you and he served on a committee back quite some time ago to kind of refurbish
Yes, we did.
that area.
Yes.
And Tommy works really hard
Yes,
to
he
make
does.
his place look nice and not just, stuff everywhere and
Yes.
landscaping and so forth. And but recently we have started these. Some of you may have heard of the express car washes, and they have the long 150-foot tunnels.
Yeah.
You do not get out of your car.
But you could stay in there for the whole tunnel ride.
You can stay. Just don't get out. Yes, ma'am. And so we have one under construction that hopefully will open in July. They're at 20 and Beltline at Fish Creek.
Oh, that is a good
And it's
site.
nice.
That's
And-
near the Waffle House.
Right. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
and a
ma'am.
lot of us go to the Waffle House.
And I think it's nice because it really leaves no one behind. You can enter the wash for $3. It has several price points. It goes up to 10, but you simply pay at a kiosk.
Yes.
No one's there to
Yes.
upsell you. And then after you enter, for if you choose $3, $5, whatever, we have free vacuums. So if you choose to vacuum, you can, or if not, you can come back later or whatever. So
Have you already been through one as a sample where?
Yes, ma'am. We have one in DeSoto over on Beltline across
Yes,
from the Walmart, and
yeah.
it's just done wonderful.
That's good.
And I think everybody ought to,
Give it a try.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
It's really. I think it's a lot simpler too if you have children or whatever. You don't have to get everybody out of the car or try to wand wash or just kind of sail through. So I think it'll work for everybody at some point.
That's wonderful. I think an entrepreneur in business like that, you're braver than Dick Tracy, especially during the economic times that we have now. And thank you all for investing in Grand Prairie as much as you do in DeSoto and Cedar Hill and some of the other places. But putting your focus on helping the boys and girls of Grand Prairie is one of the most outstanding salutes that we can give you, because when we came into this, and that's 7 years ago, it doesn't seem possible. How long have you served on their board?
This is my second year.
This year's your second year.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the most fun to you in last year when you came to the first Freedom Luncheon and you saw all of the things that were happening and your involvement in that? Tell me your reaction to that.
Well, it does get your adrenaline flowing,
Yes.
and you wanna be a part of it, and it seems like the more we help, the more you want to help, and you wonder, well, where can the next $1, $2, whatever come from to help these children, and just really hearing the stories and knowing that we're helping people, and it's good for the heart.
It is. What is your assignment for this year?
The silent auction.
Oh, you are in charge of the silent auction.
Well, I'm grouped with a group of folks.
With a group of folks.
Because I think, like Lila said, I mean, it takes all of us as a group to put this, to
bring it about.
Yes, ma'am. And so, and I think everybody, we're as good as each other. We're together. We're, a good group. And but yeah, that's what I've kind of been working on for the most part.
Personally, I'd like to know Mr. Wynn's reaction to your involvement in this, and is he proud of this, or would he rather you'd stay at home and work in the business?
No, he is 100% behind.
Oh, I'm glad to hear
behind
that.
Lifeline, and it was very important to him.
Yes.
Grand Prairie is really his baby, and that's where he got his start.
Yes.
And he is very sensitive and caring about the city and the needs of the community. And that was one of the things I think that has attracted me most to him, that his kind way of giving.
Yes.
He is just so giving and wants to share what he has with others.
Yes.
And I think most anyone would tell you that knows him.
Well, I recently saw Mr. Wynn and you, and of course Jerry Marsalis, and I sat at the table where we were, and I've never seen any three more compatible than you, the Marsalis family, and of course Lila and the Thorne family. You have a threesome going there that really does help Grand Prairie, because y'all pull together in such a mighty way, and you have such a great influence over the people for something like the Freedom Luncheon that's coming up. And tell me just a little bit more now, Lila, about what you expect from this happening and all of the things that are going to come about after you pull this together. Are you going to have any of your people that you've helped that are going to make a testimony, or anything exciting that we ought to know about that'll draw people to our happening?
Well, one of the things that we're going to share this year, just a little bit different, we won't have the individual families, but the school, Brent Jimerson, Assistant Superintendent, will be there and share with us what a difference this makes in Grand Prairie Independent School District in the lives of the children.
Okay.
So we're going to ask him to share that this year.
All right. Will you look out into your camera, and I want the president to invite everyone in any way, twist their arm, beg them, cry a little, whatever. Get them to this luncheon, because it's going to be, and you've not mentioned where you're having it yet.
Okay. The luncheon will be Thursday, June the 17th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Ruthie Jackson Center. The luncheon tickets are $25 each. You can purchase a table for 8 people, that's $200. If you want all of your friends to come with you, and we hope that you will ask them, you can also be a sponsor for that. If you can't come and you just want to donate, or you can come but still want to donate extra, then we certainly invite sponsorships of this event. Last year we raised over $50,000, and we certainly hope that we can do at least that good this year, and hopefully better. We have a lot of neat items in the auction and in the live auction. And so we invite everyone to come. The phone number that you can call if you haven't already gotten material on it is, you can call me personally at 214-244-5978. You can also call the phone number 972-262-5151, and that is Angela Gessner's office, that was our founder, or is our founder, of Lifeline. So please come, mark your calendars, come and join us for a delightful afternoon.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Madam President. That was wonderful. She made an A+ on that.
She did.
So now you look out and tell them from your point of view in your camera, come on down. Let them know.
We're looking forward to seeing all of you, and hope that you can all make time in your day to help us out. It does go for a good cause, and we help a lot of families in the community. Thank you.
Thank y'all for being here today. Y'all are blessed, and I'm so glad everything worked nicely. And we want to thank Mr. Don Johnson for allowing us one more time to bring something on the Lifeline Shelter and the Freedom Luncheon. And we'll be right back with the rest of our show.
I'm Sheriff Buford Gibbons.
I'm Deputy Doug Diggins.
And we're the Road Rangers, and this right here's what makes my blood boil.
You know what this is?
This is stuff what blowed out of some dang old pickup truck. Yeah, that's where most of this stuff comes from.
So the next time you put something in the back of your truck what could blow out of it, just remember,
the Road Rangers are waiting on you. That's real good, Deputy.
thank you.
We're welcoming you back to It's Happening in Grand Prairie as we make our interviews, but before bringing you a very talented gentleman, we are going to have a couple of community service announcements that you need to hear. First of all, there's going to be a Juneteenth celebration. It's going to be on the evening of June the 18th to begin with, and then the next day it's going to be June the 19th, an all-day affair, and all of this is going to be a wonderful happening here in Grand Prairie. And we just hope that everyone will put it on your calendar. It's going to be live music and a fish fry at Prairie Park, and it's going to have free barbecue, live music, many good happenings for the Juneteenth celebration, and everyone is invited. And secondly, the Scouts. The Scouts are in a little bit of a bind. They need people to help them invest in a special contribution scouting program. Please join Grand Prairie in supporting our Boy Scouts by calling this very special number. I'm going to give it to you very slowly because they can really give you a wonderful sales pitch if you call 214-902-6740. And it's a time when we can help during these times, and please give a call to that telephone number one more time, 214-902-6740. And congratulations to Sam England, the grandson of our Mayor England and the son, of course, of our state representative. He's graduating May 19th from the Academy. Salute Sam, and Sam's been on our show, and it's a wonderful happening for that family. But now, to bring you something about the May the 31st, 2010, that you didn't expect this early maybe in May, but we are going to have with us today Doug Beek. Now, he is substituting for a substitute. However, when you get Doug Beek, you get the full works, because he is here today to talk about Memorial Day in Grand Prairie, Texas, on the corner of Conover Drive and Low Drive. Now, if you've never seen the sign that says Low Drive that leads you in to the places where we go to the main library and to the old senior citizen center that's going to be vacated in a few days, but that Low Drive takes you right into a beautiful happening that has not only been arranged and built by several groups here in the city of Grand Prairie, Texas, but Doug knows all about it. Welcome to the show, Doug.
Good to be here, Miss Ruthie.
What do you have happening for us on May the 31st?
We'll have a wonderful ceremony to salute our military service people, and it's at a beautiful setting, the Veterans Memorial, which I'm not sure exactly the history of. I think it's, you may know, 4 years old, 5 years old, something like that. Anyway, it's been, and it's been just added on to with a fence and more landscaping to really set it off, final touches. And that'll be, we have a ceremony on Memorial Day, and then on Veterans Day, yes, November 11th. And November 11th, we have it on the actual date, and it floats throughout. This year it'll be on a weekday, I believe, but whatever day it is, Memorial Day obviously is always that last Monday in May, so we have a ceremony for that we've lined up.
That's wonderful. And if they come to that, the ceremony begins at 10?
10 o'clock, right. 10 o'clock. We'll start with we have a bagpiper who leads the processional in. It's a nice moving part of it. Starts us off. We have the South Grand Prairie High ROTC Cadets Unit will be our flag bearers.
How wonderful.
Yes. Oh, they do a great job.
Oh, yes.
You see those young people, you know there's our future of our country is in some good hands. You don't hear about them in the news. You always hear about the bad ones, but the majority of them are great kids, and the ROTC does a wonderful job at both high schools. But this year we'll have the South Grand Prairie High under Colonel Bills, and his cadets be leading in the after the bagpiper. They'll lead the processional in, and that'll be followed by various city officials, government officials, military figures who are going to be part of the program. And we do have seating probably for around 500. So we have chairs. Then sometimes it's standing room only in the back. If you get there right at 10 or a little after that, you're going to have to park probably across the street at the Chamber of Commerce. They have a big lot over there, as well as the library and the senior center. We'll end up filling every parking space, but it's well worth it. It's been very well received. We get great attendance.
Will we have our hot dogs and lemonade following the ceremony at the what we call the old Senior Citizen Center that is now being vacated daily?
Yes, we will. The free hot dog lunch will be served by both Grand Prairie Rotary Clubs, again hosted, and they provide that. The Friday Rotary Club and then the Tuesday Metro Rotary Club, and they get a lot of fun out of it too. It gives them a chance to interact with community people, and that'll be approximately about 11:30, right after the ceremony.
All right. Now, I'm going to ask you a hard question. What if it rains?
We will take the essentials of what the program is and bring it into the old senior center.
Okay.
The library has a great meeting room, but it's just too small, to accommodate something like that. Yeah. So we'll have the basics of what we want to do.
And so you're doing an anti-rain dance between now and then?
Oh, yes.
That's good.
I learned that years ago out at Traders Village, the Indian powwow.
Yeah, that is
It
good.
works.
It works. It works well. All right, now, I understand that the Vietnam veterans, they are reorganized really bigly here in Grand Prairie, Texas, and I know that they're going to be there, so that's a very good opportunity for you to meet some veterans that are really gung-ho about this memorial that has been built there and the salutes that we're able to give. Will we have the chorus? Is there a chorus to be
Yes, there'll be the Rotary chorus from different Rotary clubs around to have live music, which always adds an awful lot to the program. And the Vietnam veterans will have a display table and a booth to pass out information, meet and greet kind of thing. So I'm glad you touched on that.
Well, how early will you be welcoming people? Say that they want to get there at 9:15 so they can get a chair on the front row, or so they could get a better place to be seated. So what are you doing on that?
We would probably be able to. We'll have the chairs up. We may not have everybody with their handouts and whatnot. Yeah. But I would say 9 o'clock.
In other words, from 9 o'clock on, you'll be seating until the 10 o'clock ceremony begins.
Yeah, that's well advised to get there a little early. If it's a nice day, it's a beautiful setting, and get there a little bit so you can pick out your spot. And we'll have a public address system set up so you can hear everything that's going on. So whether you're standing room only in the back, or if you've got a front row seat, you can enjoy, hear everything that's going on.
Now, one thing about it, we have some beautiful, beautiful flags that are going to be all circled around where we're to be seated. Are there any of those available for adoption anymore?
I believe there's just a handful of those available now. We've added about 7 more to the 31 we had. The Rotary clubs ramrodded that project. And we've still got, since it's been up and had some late people to sign up for it, we were factoring that in to allow for some more flags. So, and they get a plaque at the base with a recognition of whatever verbiage they would like to put on there, honor a loved one or a family friend or a spouse or whatever. It's a very nice, when all those flags are flying.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's really a very impressive viewing.
Last, are we going to have a flyover?
Yes, we'll have a military flyover. Susan Henson, who's coordinating that, I'm not sure which of the there was a choice they had, and I'm not sure which one they decided to
Come
go
and
on.
be surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as long as we have a flyover.
Yes, we'll have a flyover. That's part and parcel of it. You combine all the veterans who were there in vests, complete uniforms. They still fit into them.
Yeah.
Or and the music and the verbiage and everything. It's just a very moving occasion. And just based on the attendance we've had there, and in the Veterans Day, now that we've got the memorial there, people of Grand Prairie and other cities even come there and have really taken ownership of that. And it's whether even if you weren't in the military or your relatives are somewhere else or something, come on out to it and just spend a little bit of your time. That is their day, and we wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for those veterans.
Exactly.
And what they did to serve their country.
Will there be a 21-gun salute so that the people won't be surprised when they get there and we knock them out of the chairs with the sound?
Yes, there will. The Grand Prairie Police Honor Guard under Sergeant Chris Chopin. That'll be part of the ceremony too. We will have some handouts, but that if you're all of a sudden you hear those rifles bang off there, which if they were near that location on Monday about 5:30, 5:45, that's when they had the annual police week memorial and salute service there. They were there and fired off the 21 guns there too.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful ceremony.
That's another great little program. Doesn't take that long, but it's very, very moving, and it's something we want to honor. All
right, now I want you to look out into your guest camera right here that says guest on it. Now you can see that it says guest right here.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to look right into that. I want you to give them the best selling point to invite people that would like to really participate in something very, very exciting to come and be with us that day.
If you are an American of any political party, persuasion, whatever, if you're just a citizen of the United States or want to be a citizen of the United States, you're visiting here, please make your plans to come out to the Veterans Memorial and our Memorial Day ceremony on Conover Drive near the 161 Service Road. It's a beautiful, moving ceremony. The veterans are honored. They're identified. We also have made an extensive video of veterans telling their service stories inside. You can view those along with a free hot dog lunch after the ceremony. That takes place about 11 with the program starting at 10. There'll be a flyover. Towards the end of the ceremony, 21 gun salute, some pageantry, but it's just a nice sort of a hometown feel to it that really strikes home and is the whole purpose of what we're out there for that day.
And in a half second, thank Susan Henson, who couldn't be with us today, for all the work she's done in planning this event. Susan,
the city horticulturalist, this is her baby. She unfortunately couldn't be here today, but she does a wonderful job with it, and it's from the heart.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much, Doug Beat. We appreciate you substituting for the substitute. That's been wonderful to have you with us today, and congratulations on your marriage.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
The beautiful lady that is now Mrs. Doug Beat. Thank you very much for being here today. And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that it's happening in Grand Prairie, Texas. And isn't it wonderful that we can celebrate at so many different things in Grand Prairie and still have the freedom to do that? Thank you for watching our show.